This is the Fit Femmes movement. Have you felt overwhelmed with your fitness journey and feel like you just want to give up? Are you a busy female professional or entrepreneur looking for weight loss and self-care solutions that you can squeeze into your hectic schedule? Then you're in the right place. Let's get inspired to make fitness and healthy living improve rather than consume your life. Together, we'll take major strides towards a happier, healthier, even wealthier you. I'm Julia Hickman, your host and coach. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me again for another episode of the Fit Femmes movement. And hello to anyone who's watching on Facebook. So today I have Analinda Rice. I'm so excited to be chatting with her. She is a fertility expert and she is founder of Fertility Reimagined. So we're going to talk about her story, about her journey with infertility, and how she helps individuals who are going through similar struggles. So Analinda, tell us a little bit more about you and how you got started with the work that you do.
Hi, so just to introduce myself a little bit. So I am Analinda Rice, and I got married later in life, and back in it was 2012. I knew at that moment, that I was going to have difficulty conceiving. And, at that time I had already told my husband, it may be hard for us to conceive, to have a child. And so he was ready for that process. I didn't know exactly how tough it would be until we were 5 years already in it with no result. So that's how everything came to be. And at that moment, I was actually in my marriage and family therapy program. And so a lot of self-exploration going on there, along with the infertility struggles. And so that's how, Fertility Reimagined came to be. So let me just go ahead and backtrack. So we got married in 2012. We had difficulty conceiving. It was 5 years, nothing was working. We had done the timing, we have done taking the temperature, we, had done the fertility meds, and, the next step, our doctor was referring us to a fertility specialist. And so at that moment, I think it finally hit, like, there has to be something else besides the physical part of this, because the emotional part is so huge. Like, I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel like a woman at all. I didn't feel like a wife, like, here I am. I can't give my husband a child, or I can't give us the baby. And so I tried looking for programs or any type of support out there, even therapy that was directly, like anybody or anything that was specializing in infertility. And at that moment, I couldn't find anything that was going to help me through it mentally and emotionally. And so I figured, okay, if I'm going through this now and I'm looking for something out there and there's nothing that I've found, like, how many people out there are going through the same exact thing? I mean, 1 in 8, right? There's 1 in 8 people go through infertility struggles. So I was like, that's just huge. So what can I do to help? I mean, I'm going through it. I have, a therapy background. So what can I do? And that's how, I was like, doing a coaching program, getting through those tough spots, because we're like, okay, how can we get there? We know what we need to do. It's just like, how do we get there? That's the tough part. We have doctors to guide us on how to get there physically, but no one there to guide us mentally and emotionally. So that's the beginning of it. And so Yeah, that was pretty huge. I remember the time that we had our first IUI, and it was the beginning of the school year. I was a teacher at that time. And, we were going to find out that first week of school, like if I was pregnant or not, if the IUI worked or not. And that Friday came, I got the phone call, and it was just a big letdown. They were like, no, you're not pregnant. We can try again. And I was just like, no, I'm not going to do it. I can't do this anymore. Like, and that's when I made, it was a big rush decision. I made a big purchase. you know, I needed something to comfort me at that time. So I made a big purchase, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on myself, focus on my wellness, and then we can try again later in a couple of months. And so um, that helped in, I guess, put the things in the program that I have in place right now, on what to do and how to help those individuals that need that help.
That's great. Yeah. And you're so right. I feel like a lot of, obviously our bodies go through a lot, especially when, we're going through treatments and trying out different
Oh
different
yeah.
things to try to get pregnant. But yeah, there's not that much, there, you have your choices when it comes to, like, for me. And just to do a quick backtrack, and of course the baby is crying in the background trying to take a nap. But I had a hard time getting pregnant with my daughter, and we had to do IVF. And with our insurance, we did not even have the option of trying IUI. It was straight to IVF. Um, but what I mean is, like, there's different options when it comes to, like, the physical things that we can do. But as far as the support for our mental well-being and our self-care, there's not much out there. And for me, I think in a way, I was lucky because I was, I was already in this, like, online space of coaches. So I was already familiar with the whole coaching thing. And not that I had a coach, but I just knew that there were things out there that I could do for myself to keep myself mentally strong, because I knew that I was going to need it a lot. Like, I knew I need to be really mentally tough to be able to get through
Mm-hmm.
this setback, this situation, this experience that my husband and I were going through. And it was very important for me to have you here, because I haven't had a guest on the podcast yet to talk about infertility or anything really like that. And it's such a big part of my life now. It's something that you can't, I feel like once you go through it, it's just part of your story now
It
forever.
is,
And
yes.
even though, I've come, we both made it over that hurdle. We're lucky. We both have, we got our babies. But, those stories, those heartaches, like, they're still, we don't dwell on them anymore, but, we can still think on them, and they've helped us become who we are, right? They've helped us become better, stronger women.
Oh
Um,
yes.
but my daughter, she's going to be turning 1 in just a few weeks, probably by the time this podcast airs. She'll be 1 year old. And so I'm happy to have you here as a guest this month. It's very exciting. So, Analinda, tell me, like, how was your experience, like, going through pregnancy issues? In your personal life? Like, did you have people who were supportive? Did you maybe not tell a lot of people? Like, how did you handle um how did you handle it?
Well, when it was weird how it happened. My comms exam was actually due, and so I had spent a weekend at a beach house with some friends, and coming back home, um, I knew something was up, because I hadn't gotten my period, and I was thinking, okay, fat chance you're pregnant. And I was like, great, your PCOS is messing with you. And so I was like, you know what, just in case. So it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was busy typing my paper, procrastinator. And it was pregnant. And I didn't know what to do. I ran upstairs, told my husband. He was half asleep. I don't even think he knew what was going on. And so, you know, that was a joy in sharing that with him. But afterwards, we didn't tell anybody. We only told our immediate family once we were in the clear. So, we had gone to Thanksgiving, to with the family, and nobody knew anything. We were trying to keep it together because we wanted to share, but we knew, okay, this may not pan out because, women with PCOS or miscarriage, thinking about all those things, like, we're lucky to get pregnant. Let's keep it that way and let's see where it goes. So it was hard to struggle those feelings of joy and yet having that fear. And that fear didn't go away. Like, it was every time we went to the doctor, we were always waiting to hear the heartbeat, making sure the heartbeat was there. Every sonogram, we were like, okay, is the baby moving somehow? Like, can we see it? It was always in the back of my mind, something was going to go wrong. And so it was hard dealing with those feelings. And then it was hard actually accepting the fact that I had become pregnant, because at that moment when I did become pregnant, I already had accepted the fact that I was not going to be a mom. So I was happy with that. I was content. I was joyful. Like, okay, we're going to be the couple, that doesn't have kids. We'll find another route. And I was okay with that already. So it was this big surprise. It was happy news, but at the same time, it was kind of a loss of the future that you saw for yourself. So it was kind of bittersweet in a sense. But of course, I mean, it's just like, how do you handle all that? And you have your husband or your partner with you, and you want to say all these things, but then you're afraid of their reaction. Like, okay, why are you feeling this way? We're pregnant. But the thing is, he was understanding. And I think that's another important piece of it too, having that support with your spouse or your significant other, having those hard conversations like, hey, I feel this way. Like, is this okay? Like, this is how I'm feeling. My feelings are valid. I just need your support. And so I think that's the other piece to it too, that support system, not just the family. Once we did tell the family, it was once we were in the clear, they were happy, they were supportive, they were always checking in on me, but we kept it at that. Nobody else knew until we had our child. And so after that, we were like, hey, he's here. And people were like, what? You were pregnant?
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, very similarly, we also didn't tell many people. So we had a loss. So my first son, he was born, like, we didn't even know we were pregnant when I had him. And then with my daughter, that's when I really had trouble. So we did IVF, we had a loss. With that loss, we actually started telling a few family members early on. I kind of felt like I needed to have that support. I even I was even texting with my best friend like the morning of my transfer. And then after that loss, I was like, okay, next time when we try this again, I'm not going to tell many people, just because I didn't want all these people, like all the energy and all the like focus on, I was like, no, I'm just going to tell my mom and that's it. And then I'll wait until we're in the clear to tell more people. So that we did the very similar thing. Analinda, and how do you help people? Like, can you tell us a little bit about like, how do you work with do you work with just like the woman, or do you work with couples? How does that work? What does that look like?
Well, actually, the program is actually designed to do either or. So, helping the individuals, because I know some women will feel the way they feel and need that extra support. And sometimes, the infertility discussions or the infertility struggles does get in the way of relationships. And so I have designed the program to where I work with couples in that regard. So, I mean, it just depends on where each person is at in their struggle. I mean, if they want to focus more on themselves, then, we would do the individual one-on-one route. If it's more of the, this is taking a toll on me and, my significant other, and we need some work, then, we'll do the couples.
That's great. And where can people go to learn more about you?
They can go to either at fertility_reimagined on Instagram, or they can go to my Facebook page, which is Fertility Reimagined. It's the group Facebook.
Okay, great. Page. And we will share those links. Is there anything else that you want to share with us today?
Well, just for those out there that are hearing and that are struggling with infertility, you're not alone. There is help out there, and I'm more than happy to talk with you or to help you out. So if you just send me a message, I will reply, and I'll help you as best I can. And if I'm not able to help you, I can always refer you out to someone who can.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today.
And thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. And thank you to all of our listeners. Thank you to people watching. I would love it if you would leave a review on iTunes. It would mean so much. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Fit Femmes movement. I would love to hear your thoughts on the podcast, so please leave us a review. And sharing is caring. If you know someone who may benefit from this episode, please share it with them. We need more women up-leveling to their highest selves with grace, courage, and ease. If you'd like to connect with me more and have access to free live trainings and join a community of hundreds of other amazing women, then join my free Facebook group, the Fit Femmes Tribe.